Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful layouts from start to finish with easy to follow guides. So welcome to October. Just one second here. Let me add myself up here into the camera. Oh, do. Of course, it's like Friday and October the 1st, which is crazy to me. All of a sudden, it's October. Okay, so I managed to pull it out, guys. So I created a new sketch. So after this, I'm going to photograph the layout that we're going to create. And then the PDF will be ready to go. Got my office door closed and it's like quite warm as soon as the lights get on. So I think I should probably take my sweater off. Okay. So this is the way it works. Like I said, the sketch is ready. I'm just going to photograph the layout and it'll get added in the bottom. So if you comment sketch, I'll come back and add the link in here. So this is what we're going to do today. It's super fun. So I thought, because I knew the sketch was almost ready. Well, it wasn't almost ready. I knew what I was going to do is basically what we're going to say, what we're going to call it. But so I needed to figure out what we were going to scrapbook and what papers we were going to use and stuff. So for whoever didn't see the photograph earlier, this is one of the past times that I've actually done this same concept. So this is a double page version. And then I've done a single page version, but we're going to do a double page because that's what you guys voted for, which I kind of anticipated happening. But so we're combining the sketch with Cupcake Week. Okay, so I'm going to make you bigger on my desk so you can see everything we've got going on here. So I showed this cupcake earlier in the week. So this is using the thin cut, and I turned this one into a gift card holder, and then we added this one to the front of an A2 size card and created a little gift card holder. So if you missed that video, you can go back and watch them. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, so let me just move some stuff around here. So like I said, the sketch has all the measurements for what we're going to play with today. And I actually have just gone back in. Sorry. And I've added my color scheme because this one's not like a certain paper package or anything, paper collection. I've pulled some stuff together. We've got a little bit of stuff, like a little bit of mix-ins, and then some cardstock. I've played with SVGs, and of course we have to have a cupcake there. So this is what we're going to do. Like I said, I'm going to create it. I'm going to show you a different version, and then I have cut a whole pile of fun little things that we're going to use to decorate. So these are one of the new SVGs that we have that I'll talk about when we get closer to there. I pulled out some thin cuts because we're going to do a birthday page. Okay, so I have roughed it in and assembled little parts of it just to make it a little bit quicker. But we're going to do like some of everything here. And then actually I was thinking before I started with this whole, starting to put this together, I thought actually a super fun thing would be to take shimmer brushes in all sorts of like the coordinating colors and splatter the background. But we're not going to do that because you guys would have to wait for that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to tell you the color palette that I picked. So you can see here, right, the whole concept here. This one is a little bit different because this was a single page, but I was playing with like 6 different colors of 6 different colors basically. This one's all cardstock. The other one's paper and cardstock. We're going to play with a combination of paper, cardstock, and glitter paper. So, for this one, my color palette is Ballerina, Candy Apple, Nectarine, Green Apple, Capri, and Wisteria. And I'll tell you that I pulled those colors because they were the colors of the balloon banner that we used as the photo prop for my daughter's birthday party. So, because when I thought cupcakes, because it's cupcake week, I thought, well, we should do like a birthday layout. So these are the pictures I pulled, and you'll see, I'm going to show you. So it started off like this is supposed to be like the white clouds. So I have this gray and white, or mink and white piece from the Mix-Ins pack that is representing the white. And then, right, we've got Ballerina, Candy Apple, Nectarine. The yellow, we're going to pull in here with this gold foil paper. Green Apple, Capri for the blue, and then Wisteria for the purple. So you guys could totally change up this color palette. I'll do the sketch like not a lot. I will do the sketch more times, and we'll play with different factors to show you how easy it is to switch up the sketch. So just because this is the way I created my color palette, you don't have to do that. I also wanted to be able to mix in different textures. So I did, for my wisteria pieces, add in an embossing folder just to give it another form of texture. So I'll show you as we go how the sketch works and then how the layout comes together. Okay, so the element that I pulled from both those other layouts is we've got this piece that runs across the top, and it's 2 by 11.5 inches. Okay, and it creates our little border. So you'll see there's like a little gap across all the edge of the scrapbooking layout. Then I've pulled in a large shape, right? So 10 by 7 is my large shape. This one happens to be a circle, right? In this one, I used a star. You could use anything, right? Just some sort of big element to fill up this space over here. Then I've got 3 6x4 photographs on here, and then 3 decorative elements. So we're going to add 3 cupcakes on here because it's cupcake week. So I had some fun with the thin cut. I'm going to give you a few tips that I learned along the way about using it so we could add it to this layout. So we're going to do a super pared down version of this layout first. Like I said, I will come back and I'll teach it again. No need to worry, but I needed to have a photograph so I could add it to that download. So here we go. We're going to create the little banners. If you guys watch the Stars and Sparklers, we're going to do it super similar to that one. So I wanted to explain about those in 1 second. So I've cut 4 pieces of white daisy. You don't have to do this part. And this isn't necessarily on the sketch. I just did it to make it a little bit easier to put together. And I'm going to add my border to it. So, like I said, on this side, I did Ballerina, Candy Apple, Nectarine, Green Apple, Capri, and Wisteria. And it flowed, it picked 6 colors across that balloon banner, okay? So we need to put together for this side, and I'm just doing it in the opposite direction. So we're going to go so the 2 meet in the middle that are the same, if that makes sense. So we're going to do a wisteria. We have the new Tombow out. we're trying this. Okay, so all these squares are 2 inches high, and then the width varies just to add interest, right? So like, for example, these 3 are all 2 inches, but it's all in the sketch. You don't have to write anything down. And then these ones vary in size just to add a little bit more interest to the strips across the layout. And then I added the Capri glitter paper in here to give it, like I said, another texture. So we got a few textures there with the embossing folder. That's the cascading dots, which is still available. And then I also used the gold foil paper kind of to play up like that, the concept of like the pot of gold underneath the rainbow kind of thing. So I did use a thin cut to cut those little strips that we're going to add to the bottom. Just give me 1 second here. I'll just finish. Now you could see why I did 2 of these borders before we started, just because there's 4 of them. They're all exactly the same, but like I said, you can play it up with more or less colors. It just kind of depends. Like, it would be great for using for like a sports team if they only had 2 colors, right? Like, let's say red and blue, and you could just alternate them, and also or use just different textures. So under here I used the silver foil paper and one of the border thin cuts. So I wanted to bring that same concept into this layout. So I pulled out this thin cut. So this is called the Slimline Shaker Window. So I used the inside piece and cut one piece, like one of them for each of the strips from the foil paper, and then I cut it in half. So you can see here, right? These 2 go together like this. So then I'm going to add them underneath to create just that little scallop on the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this edge off because I don't want the edge. I wanted more, I didn't want it all the way around. You could, I actually did play with the idea because it does actually fit. I'll show you. But what happens is the border gets bigger, and it would have gone right across my piece of paper, my layout. So you could trim this down and use this like this. It does actually fit this 2-inch height like this, and then you could just piece 2 of them together if you wanted that kind of look all the way around. But that's not what I did. Okay, so I trimmed one end off, and I'm just trimming like right along the stitches. And we'll just add them together, and it's like seamless. You can't even tell that that's what I've done. So I'm just going to add adhesive to the bottom, right? So I want my wisteria right across, so I'm making sure I'm adding it to the right spot. Okay, so then all I did was I lined this up just above the stitching. Okay, so just like that. And I just kind of gave it that little bit extra on the bottom. You could also just substitute out a super thin piece of paper, like so on the sketch it just says 1/4 inch by 11.5. Right? So you could, if you wanted, just put like a little thin black strip across the bottom. That would work too if you don't want to do the thin cut. Okay, so now we have a top and I need to make one more bottom. And then I'm going to talk about my cupcakes. I'm going to add lots of cupcakes on this layout. Okay, so same thing, right? This one is the same. So this is my left-hand side page. So I'm following this same color pattern. And my scallop will be across the top. So I'm just trimming right along the stitches. I know they are, and I don't think that they would necessarily be colors that you would assume to put together. It's kind of like a funky little rainbow, right? It's not really, they're not really rainbow colors together, but because that's the way the balloons were, I thought, oh, well, why don't we just go with that? And I tried to mix and match some pattern paper in here too as we went. But as you know, I will come back for sure and teach the sketch and swap out things and change things up to show you how versatile one single sketch could be. So like I said, these plaids are both from the Mix-Ins pack. I just have to make sure I'm doing my pattern the same. So, and I did attach my title together already. So this is one of the new SVGs from the annual idea book. And the size, rough size that I made my title is on the sketch. So you know. And then it's just 2 layers. So the back is candy apple and the front is black. So then I used the black throughout the layout to kind of pull things together. Okay, so now same thing. I'm just going to add my little scallop border across the bottom. Or I guess across the top edge of this one. You could actually add it on both edges if you wanted. Okay. So, and I just have that stitching just peeking out all across the top there. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim off the end. There we go. So now we're going to add these 4 strips in to start. Okay, so they are 1/4 inch from each edge. So just remember, you do have quite a few layers of paper here. So I am making sure that I have a good amount of adhesive on there so that they will stay. So I didn't bring my Versamat over. So I might just grab that, but maybe we'll get these in here and we won't need it. Okay, so they're just 1/4, I'm just doing 1/4 inch. And you can decide on this one if you want the circle underneath or on top. And I'm going to do mine on top because I have lots of these fun things that go with that Celebrate title that I'm going to use. So I just took the SVG and I made 2 sizes. And then, so for each shape, I cut 2 sizes. So you can see there's one that's slightly bigger and one that's slightly smaller. And then for each of the shapes, I cut each color. So there's a scallop, there's the streamer, and then there is a star. So for each color, I cut 2 of each size, I think, just so that we can have some fun adding those in at the end. So that's why I'm going to put my circle on the top, but you could totally put it underneath too, here, right? You could tuck it in underneath here, and you might see that. We might do that on a different one later. So like I said, everything is all ready to go. I just need to photograph it and add it to the PDF for download. So, and I have had people ask before, and if you've already signed up for a download and you do it again, it will not double email you. It only counts you one time. So you still get the download, even if you're on the list already, but you still only get one message. Okay, so I'll add this at the top. Okay. So then there's a few little tricks with the cupcakes because they're actually a card, right? So the cupcake forms a card, but I thought what a fun way to add it to the scrapbooking page. So you can see this one is actually still together. So we're going to take that apart and create our 2 cupcakes for over here. So we just need to add this one on here, and then we can start assembling. This one, like I said, will come together super quickly. So this is the new Tombow Mono Air. So apparently this is the other one that we used to carry. This, it just says adhesive permanent, but they've changed it. So now it's this one, which is the Mono Air. And when you order refills, you get 2 refills at a time. So versus the other one was just 1. So here's how the refill for the old one came. So it just says glue tape refill. And then this one comes with 2 refills. So that's the difference. Light touch application. So we're trying this. This is the first week I have had it. So the interesting thing I'll say about it too is that this one, sometimes I would get it all sticky, like you can see it, it's all over the place, like it's in the lip here and stuff. And I don't think that, I haven't found that I'm getting that same thing happening. So like I said, I should have probably brought my Versamat over here, but we're just going with it. Okay. So like I said, this, I think there's so many fun possibilities for it. Okay. So basically that's the basic roughed in version of what we're doing. So I'm going to add my circle here now. So like I said, this replaces the star that I used in the other layout. So I did cut this circle with my Cricut, but it's a 10-inch circle. You could cut it with from a plate or anything really. So I am lining it up with my top and my bottom, not the edge of my scrapbooking page. And I'm just kind of trying to center it top to bottom. And then, like I said, I did adhere these 2 layers together, And the measurement is on the sketch. It's roughly 4 3/4 by 6. And I'm just trying to decide if we're gonna pop it up or not. So I did double mat my photographs. So, and then I really wanted to play off all the fun colors. So the way I did this is all the photographs have different colored mats, but they all have just that 1/8 of an inch mat that's black, so it ties them all together, and then we'll tie them to the accents. And then this one is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, so that, and then they're all different colors. So one is, I'll adhere these all together maybe right now. So this side I'm going to do capri, and then this side I have a candy apple, and then I have a ballerina. So because it's all so colorful, and when I start to put the cupcakes together, you'll see too that that is super colorful. I wanted to kind of play that up again. So I'm actually going to put this on 3D foam tape. So it's funny, in front of me, I keep losing the comments. They keep disappearing. Okay. So I don't know if I will do 3D foam tape on these ones, but because this is the photograph of her, I wanted your attention to be drawn to this photograph. And then I'm not sure who was actually listening to me the other day about the cupcake card. But like I said, there's so many ways I think that you could play with this cupcake. So during the, when I made the card, I used pearls. You can't see it. I used pearls, like liquid pearls, to create the sprinkles. So today though, and I said this was another idea on that class, was we're going to use actually cardstock to create the sprinkles. So you just have to be careful. It's just a little border, but like I said, I think that the blue or the black will kind of just tie them all together. Okay, so I'm not adhering anything down just yet. So we'll do the photographs for this side, and okay, these are going over here. And these are going on this side. And here's my icing for over here. And so when I did cut out, as I'm talking to myself, I know. So you could there are so many possibilities. And like I said, I will come back and I'll teach it again and show you right how easy it is to adapt the sketch. So I don't know if you are thinking about this, but when you look at 6 pieces, our paper collections are 3 pieces of paper that are double-sided. I'm going to keep doing this while I'm talking. Each of our most of our collections, I should say. So like pumpkin spice is 3 pieces of paper, double-sided. So that's 6 different papers, right? So right there, that's a super easy way to switch out the papers, right? You could switch out the blocks for all pattern paper, right? If they were all, you could do them all pumpkin spice, right? Because it's all just 6 blocks. Like I said, you could do them back and forth with just 2 different colors or 3 colors, right? If you wanted to do like a team thing or a school theme, right? Like I said, that this color pattern I picked up from the balloons, and I do list on the sheet, which is, so after, you'll see here too, so I do list my color combinations so you know what these blocks represent. So here's Hansel by herself, and then here's her with her boys, her brother and her boyfriend. So I guess I've got this one in my hand. I might as well use this one. I'm trying to use up the end. Okay. So then, okay, so this is how we're coming together here. So like I said, this is not going to be like crazy decoration because we've got 3 cupcakes going on here and they're not small. So I wanted to keep everything else, even though it's crazy colorful, I wanted to keep it relatively simple. So I showed you the other day all the parts of the cupcake. So here's what I've done, because I'm going to use this for my journaling, right? It's going to be a little hidden journaling box. So I've cut out the card, but of course, right, your card would normally go like this. So if it was on this side, that works, but I need it backwards on this side. I actually want it, right, so that it flips open. Okay, so for this layer, that's not a problem, right? I just fold it backwards. But now, when you look at the icing, you can't, okay, so here. This is the icing, the way the thin cut works. Right? So, when you cut out this thin cut and you run it through, this is what comes out. Well, this is backwards, right? So that's going over there. To get this, which I decided to use ballerina glitter paper because I wanted one cupcake that really sparkled. So in order to get this the right way, when I put the glitter paper in, I ran the glitter paper in upside down, right? So I ran this through my machine with my glitter paper down so that when I flipped it over, my glitter paper would be facing up. So now my icing is in the right direction and it opens up like this. So you can see this one over here, same thing. We're going to do it backwards. So when I ran the ballerina through, I made sure the side, the cut, like the true side, because that's the side I wanted up, was facing down when it went through the machine. I hope that makes sense because I want to be able to use it in both directions. So, and you saw what I did for the sprinkles already. We're going to do that on the other 2. So I took those same colors, right, that I played with here, and I have extra, I obviously have little casts off from when I ran it through my machine, and I just added them behind the glitter paper. So we're going to do that a couple times. So I'm going to adhere this one down just because I actually still have adhesive all over the place. I just wanted to make sure that the thought that I had in my head was going to work before I showed you guys. Okay, so then I took the same pieces from the thin cut, right, and I played up all the colors again. So I have like a nectarine liner, and then we're going to do like a candy apple frame. And then from the card the other day, where we made the white liner for the inside, right? We added this. I have the other half of that, and I'm going to add that inside here to do my journaling on. So I'll add lines to this after for my journaling. And I think my thought was to use the fun color, one or two of the fun colors of the Le Pens to add the journaling lines, just for something a little fun. Okay, I just missed that. I need to move it over just a little bit. Okay. I just got it too far into the crease there. Okay. Okay, and I might have to, oh no, I just need to fold it better. I'll do that in a second. You guys don't need to watch that. So I'm just going to now quickly glue this piece down. So also, if I was thinking about it yesterday when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do here, I might have used those adhesive sheets again. I got to get used to thinking about where I want to use them. But glue will suffice for today. So I'll tell you a funny story from this morning. So I had to go out this morning, and so I'm standing in the kitchen and I am washing my glasses in the kitchen sink with like dish soap and water. And my son comes into the kitchen because both my daughter and him and I wear glasses. And he looks at me and he says, why don't you just use like the glass cleaner? And I'm like, well, because I have glue on my glasses, so I think I actually have to wash it off versus just like spraying them. So he's like, oh yeah, that's just what everybody has on their glasses, Mom. Okay, so here we go. We are coming together. So this will go over here. I just need to fix the fold here just a little bit. So, because I really want this just to be the star over here, and then the star on this side. Okay, so I'm going to tack this photo down. We will quickly add our other cupcakes together, and then it's just a matter of adding some of those decorations in. So here we go. Like I said, so I wanted on this side 2 of those big cupcakes because I just think they're super fun because they're so big. So this I just ran through together, and I'm just really going to cut them apart. You could use your trimmer or scissors. Okay. If you wanted them going in the same direction, that's fine too. But my thought process was kind of I wanted them overlapped and kind of in different directions, just like that. So I will quickly put these together. Oh, but we have to add the sprinkles on the back. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to add these quickly. And then we will put the sprinkles on the back. So to add the sprinkles on the back, I just added adhesive to the back of the cupcake and then just sliced up little pieces of, like I said, that remnant cardstock, right? So it's just, I did get it off my glasses. I used like water and Dawn, and so I think that was helpful. So here are just some of the like offcuts. Like I said, I just kept them. And then I did, because I love this tab thin cut. So I also ran it through in coordinating colors. So we are going to add a few of them on top of the photographs, like on the top of the edges. And the reason that I did that was to play up. So I did that on this one, right? So I thought, oh, well, we'll pull that in. I will say, though, it was not liquid glass on my glasses because I don't think I would have been able to get that off. And actually, it was funny because my husband said to me the other day, oh, you have a stain on your t-shirt. And I'm like, well, no, actually, it's liquid glass that I can't get off. It's just like a t-shirt that I wear when I'm like messing around, but I must have like brushed my hand. You guys know I'm like totally messy. I must have brushed my hand against my shirt and it was enough that, and I didn't notice. That's okay. Some days you just have to get messy. Okay, so I think this is how I had them. And you could totally swap this out, all these layers, for coordinating papers if you would rather. Okay, so this is what I did. I just have to remember. Okay, so this is how our cupcakes are going, right? So I flipped it over and I randomly added adhesive around the sprinkles because you're going to glue it down anyway. Right? And then, okay, I'm not going to do purple on this one. And then I cut up little pieces of paper and I just made sure that the colors weren't on top of, right next to each other or whatever. It takes so little paper, but it totally looks like sprinkles. So now, when it's flipped over, you can just see the sprinkles coming through. And like I said, there was no real rhyme or reason to what I was doing. I just made sure that it was long enough and not too long, that it was going to go off my cupcake. Figure it was better than just throwing the scraps away. So see how fun, and they totally looks like sprinkles. So let's do a blue one right there. And a green one. And then a pink one. And it totally does not matter what it looks like from behind. I need some more red on there. And let's do one more blue one. Totally doesn't matter. So then, now I can just add this to this cupcake. So then, like I said, this ballerina one, I did cut it upside down, right? So that it would be going the right direction for this side of the card front. So when I add my sprinkles, I want to make sure that I'm flipping it over. Just like that. So this is, on the front side is the true side of ballerina. So if I'm going to add a sprinkle, I'm probably going to make it the lighter side, but I won't add probably very many of this exact same color, right? Because I have lots of other colors to play with here, so. So if anything overhangs, I'm just going to make sure that I trim it off. So I think we need some orange. I probably could have done some of this for you so that you didn't have to watch this part, but I thought it turned out super cute. So I did, like I said, I wanted to try it before to make sure that it would be fun. Okay, I think we need some green. So I did use green apple for my green. Maybe we'll do a blue one. And the last one, we'll do an orange one. So, right, like I said, it's something you already have on your table. You might as well use up the little bits. And you end up with a coordinating cupcake. So those turned out really cute. Okay, so I'm just gonna lift this up and pull it out of, oh my goodness. That is so weird. It like stuck itself down on my photograph. So tip, guys, don't put it down on your photograph because it's got like that sticky finish on the bottom, right? Okay. So here we go. This is how we are coming together. Like that. Like, so how fun is that? Like I said, I wanted something super colorful because of the way all the photographs were, etc. Okay, so let's glue some stuff down. That's glued down already. So we're gonna glue these two photos down. Okay, so the one thing I will say about the new Tombow versus the old Tombow is you probably have a little bit more forgiveness time with the new one versus the old one. A little bit more time if you needed to move something, because I find that this tape, once it's down, you're going to be hard pressed to move it if you need to move it. Okay, same thing, because this has got quite a few layers to it, right? I'm going to add a fair amount of adhesive to the back. And then I will pass this through a page protector so that it will open up. And like I said, I did this one with the glitter paper because this is the journaling one, so I wanted more attention to be called to it. And I knew the title was going to be over here, so this was like a lot. Oh, perfect, Kim. Okay, so that one's down, so let's add this cupcake. So I'm going to do this one flat, and then I'm going to add the second one on a little 3D foam tape. So this one, I'm going to add right here, just like that. I'll add a 3D foam tape to this one. And obviously this is way more of those SVGs than I need, but this is just also a small portion of the photographs, obviously, from that day. So I kind of figured I'll just, because I didn't know how many I would use, so I thought while I'm running them through, I'll just cut up a whole pile. So you never know where you might see those come back. So there we go. Okay, so then there we go. Okay, so I'm going to add a few of these, just kind of randomly around the layout. And I actually really like these streamers. So Guys, I really feel like I just want to dump these. Oh, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to pick my tabs. So I'm going to add a tab to this one. So I think we are going to use nectarine. Also, if you are just going to adhere it flat, you can totally cut these because you don't actually need the other side. And then you have 2 tabs instead of 1. So now it lays flat on my layout. It's funny, I'm drawn to the same one over and over, which is, it quite often happens to me, so just ignore me. Think I might use that one. Oh, but yes, down there. And then maybe just remind me that I have not actually glued that down yet. And I'm going to swap out the streamer like that. Okay, so that's the tabs. So same thing. I think I'm going to cut these because I'm kind of tucking it behind, right? So this was also one of the new dim cuts. Okay, so I don't know who too has seen this, the new close to my heart paper tool, paper crafting tool. That will be my new friend for sure. Okay. I will swap that out there. So when I am playing with these fun little embellishments, all I'm doing is I'm just trying to make sure that, for example, I don't have a wisteria piece on top of a wisteria piece so you can't actually see it. I'm not overly worried about mixing and matching because it is just supposed to be a super fun, eclectic layout, I think. And it's funny because it's really no different than when I was like picking the pieces for the cupcakes. Just all of a sudden, certain colors looked way better in the different spots than others. Okay, so I need some different shapes here. The streamers are all seem to be on the top here. So right? And with these two, it's really no different than random stamping, right? I'm going to twist them and turn them so that they don't all look exactly the same. And this part, really, you can add as much, obviously, or as little as you would like. I'm just kind of filling in some of the bare spots and kind of creating some clusters along the way. And then to finish it off, I'm going to just add loose sequins. And I will probably do that with, I was originally actually going to do some wildberry ones, but I think I am going to use gold to pull in the gold foil paper. Okay, I think we're going to start adhering these things down. So that I can tell if we've got enough going on or not. Okay, let's get our loose sequins. Okay, and then I'm going to start gluing these down because I'm kind of happy with the arrangement. There we go. Okay, so like I said, it'll just take me a few minutes. We still have some light, so I will quickly photograph it, and then I just have to insert it into the PDF. Like I said, it is all ready to go, so I'll start adding that link back in, hopefully right away. I'm just going to give it a few seconds for my glue to settle so I can move everything around. And then for sure, like I said, you will see me come back. So this is sketch number 3, and I think I do actually reference that even in the title of the download. So if you wanted to add more texture on some of these, you could run the shapes also through an embossing folder. You could pick glitter for some of the shapes, right? The gold foil paper would, or gold or silver, depending, would also be fun, and it cuts super well. Like I said, I picked the gold because I was playing with the idea of like the pot of gold underneath the rainbow. I'm sure you guys will see more of this birthday party, because I also have now 800 embellishments to, I'm just kidding. These actually would work super well on birthday cards too, right? Or in shakers. they would be fun. Okay, we're getting there. This was not a short one, guys, sorry. And aren't you happy I did do some of that beforehand? Okay. So I'll just add these down. So the nice thing too about the SVGs is if you don't have a Cricut, you use a different machine, you can use them. Okay, last piece of cardstock here. Who knows, I might go in and add more after, but I think we will stop here. Now I'm just going to add a few sequins on here. So I just have the regular glue dots. Okay. And I have flying sequins. Just need a few different sizes here. I keep saying I need to like top this up and then I totally forget about it and I go to do another live and I think the same thing in my head. So we'll move that glue out of the way. So like I said, I'm just randomly throwing these into the clusters to add some more sparkle. I've got lots of flying sparkles or sequins. So because I use them all the time, I'm getting down to lots of clear ones. So that's why I said I think I need to freshen up my selection. So I think Cupcake Week turned out super awesome. Also, if somebody could delete that comment out of there, that would be awesome. Just let me pull this up here for 1 second. The spammers are back, guys. We haven't had spammers in a while. Let me just see. I need to get rid of that. There we go. So somebody let me know if that pops back up. Yeah, I know. I will say it has actually been quite a while since I have had spammers on here. But somebody just say something to me, and again, I can block it. Just sometimes I'm not fast enough to see it. Oh, I'm so glad, Gay. I thought it might be cute and kind of probably not what you would typically expect or put together, right? So okay. I did block them, so hopefully that is enough. Okay, so I think we might almost be done here. I'm just trying to get out a few small ones. It's making me crazy. After this, I'm going to go get a new package. Because it's fine for shakers, but what happens is when it starts to get low, it's like all the clear ones. And I'm not, which are fine for shakers, like I said. There we go. Okay, guys, I think we're done. So I think it turned out super cute and fun. So like I said, I'm going to photograph it and I'll insert it into the bottom of the PDF. And then I will add it back in as a download into the comments where it says sketch. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to teach this one again for sure in kind of a completely, next time I'll try and go completely in a different direction, but I'll show you, right? So this, I don't know if anybody actually remembers, but this started out as a card, was really how it started out. So this was the first card, and then I turned it into the single page layout, right? So I made it into a single page layout. I did a card with Lovely with the same kind of concept, but looks completely different. And then I did this version that was stars and sparklers. And so this is what the photograph, I'll photograph this one though and put it into the sketch sheet for you to download. But obviously there's so many possibilities, and we'll do some fun stuff with this going forward. So I'll put myself back down here beside. Thanks for popping on today. And like I said, it'll just take me a few minutes to finish it up and edit the photograph quickly. And then you will have your sketch sheet ready to go. Okay, have a great day, guys. And if you have any questions, always feel free to ask. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.